Greetings, heroes of Dominion. Zeus here with another important update for the Lara Croft event. Today, we're breaking down the Temple Guardian boss fights from level 180 all the way up to level 260. Now here's the hook, 2 major updates have changed how we look at this event. First, level 220 has been reworked. Previously it was thought to require buff 20, but after more testing it can now be cleared with buff 10. And second, we have a brand new addition, level 260, which requires buff 50. This means the event is evolving, and we're learning new strategies as players push deeper every day. In this video, I'll walk you through each boss lineup, the exact pets used, the buffs required, and what you should focus on. This way, you can progress smartly without wasting valuable resources. Level 180, Buff 0. The lineup here is Rufus with Axel, Satori with Merlin, Lara Croft with Fenris, Astrid and Lucas with Mara, and Aiden with Chorus. The team pet is Merlin. At first glance, this team looks very dangerous. Rufus brings magic immunity, and Satori punishes energy gain. But with the correct strategy, this fight is perfectly manageable at buff 0. No resources are needed here. Level 190, buff 0. At level 190, the Guardians bring Isaac with Oliver, Sebastian with Albus, Lara Croft with Fenris, Astrid and Lucas with Vex, and Iris with Biscuit. The team pet is Albus. This is a strong synergy lineup. Isaac blocks control, Sebastian boosts crits, and Iris cuts through defenses. Even so, the fight remains balanced for buff 0. Level 200, Buff 0. Level 200 brings Satori with Merlin, Isaac with Oliver, Nebula without a pet, Sebastian with Albus, and Lara Croft with Vex. The team pet is Albus. Here you face both energy punishment from Satori and heavy damage amplification from Nebula, but once again, no buffs are required. You can clear this stage with buff 0. Level 210, Buff 0. At level 210, the Temple Guardian team is Astaroth with Biscuit, Isaac with Oliver, Nebula without a pet, Sebastian with Albus, and Lara Croft with Vex. The team pet is Albus. This fight adds Astaroth's resurrection into the mix, but just like the previous levels, it can still be cleared with buff 0. Level 220, Buff 10, Reworked. Here's the big rework. Previously thought to require buff 20, this level can now be cleared with buff 10. The lineup is Rufus with Axel, Galahad with Fenris, Isaac with Oliver, Lara Croft with Mara, and Iris with Albus. The team pet is Fenris. This is an important update because it saves you resources and shows how ongoing testing continues to reveal better strategies. Level 230, Buff 90. And now we hit the wall. At level 230, The requirement shoots up to buff 90. The team here is Galahad with Albus, Andvari with Oliver, Isaac with Mara, Lara Croft with Vex, and Iris with Biscuit. The team pet is Axel. This stage combines tank durability, control counters, and strong backline damage. It's extremely demanding, so don't rush into this one unless you're fully prepared to commit. Here comes the surprise, level 240 requires no buffs at all. The lineup here is, Galahad with Oliver, Isaac with Mara, Sebastian with Albus, Lara Croft with Fenris, and Iris with Biscuit. Team Pet, Albus. Yes, you heard that right, after the heavy buff demand at 230, level 240 suddenly drops back down to buff 0. This is very unusual for an event like this and makes progression much more accessible than expected. Level 250, buff 10. At level 250, the lineup is Astaroth with Axel, Galahad with Biscuit, Isaac with Oliver, Sebastian with Albus, and Lara Croft with Mara. The team pet is Axel. The surprising part is that despite being 20 levels higher, this fight only requires buff 10. This is a pleasant break after the heavy investment needed at 230. Level 260, buff 50. And now for the newest addition, level 260. The lineup is Astaroth with Oliver, Morrigan with Axel, Lara Croft with Mara, Iris with Biscuit, and Helios with Merlin. The team pet is Axel. This stage requires buff 50. It's not as punishing as 230, but still demands careful planning. With Helios and Iris together, expect heavy punishment if you rely too much on critical hits. So here's the recap: from 180 through 210, you don't need buffs at all. At 220, the requirement has been reworked to buff 10, which is a nice saving. At 230, the wall remains with buff 90, the heaviest demand in this section. But then 250 drops back to buff 10, and 260, the newest addition, lands at buff 50. My advice to you is simple: be patient. The event lasts several days, and the community is still testing. Do not rush into high buff stages, especially level 230, which can drain your resources faster than you expect. Wait for updates, use proven setups, and spend wisely. Finally, I want to give a special thanks to Chris Libby. These team setups and insights came from FM, Idle, Server 21 Brave Hearts. Your contributions make it possible for the entire Hero Wars community to go further together. Stay sharp, Guardians, and as always, salute and friendship.